the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now a throw complete to his fullback out of the backfield. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And this one complete to Smith. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, watch that. Check, Mike.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Going deep for Diggs. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot. You go tank.
You 61. Matchbox lights. Shoot.
Off the bootleg. Patterson. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it third down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. Off play action. Patterson, and he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And some space here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's second down.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
You don't know no better. 6'6", pull it high.
On second down, Kamara. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out.
218, chop it.
He's scared. He's crashing. He's checking.
Gone.
Check 25. Check 25.
Hey, Alpha.
Hey, watch Sam. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. It's just me and you. It's just me and you. Right there. 54. Right there. 54.
On third down, here's Kamara. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That's it, baby.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They run again on first down. Cook. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Check, crunch.
On second down, this is Madison, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 yards there, first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Cousins on first down. Pass incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Check, 47. Hey, I'm coming. 47.
Throwing is Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On third down, Cousins. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Kamara. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4. Watch the backer, watch the backer. Big grip.
On third down, Patterson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards, a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. It's caught, Smith. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Watch twist.
382, last 50.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Cousins. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Recon, 132 fighter. Get it.
Throwing on first down. Patterson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Wide, get wide. 55, go.
Off the play fake. Patterson. And brought in by the tight end Cook. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, and then these two teams will head to the locker room all even.
And you know the play caller's just feeling it right now. Let's go ahead and go for this one. A big shot downfield. No. Guarantee the head coach is like, don't get crazy. Take the knee. Let's get out of here. Tie game will just start all over.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Hey, dude.
Minus 56. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey, you don't want none.
Final play of the half, Cousins. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
At the 22-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And that is the definition of yards after catch. They go short on the pass, and the receiver does the rest.
Seems so harmless, doesn't it, to throw it underneath, a short pass like that? But, boy, it gets dangerous in the hands of the right receiver as he makes a move and takes it the distance.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cook. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. They run it again with Kamara. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
A throw over the middle, taken in. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to Rush coming, and he's taken down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
General West. Five.
Looking to throw. Patterson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
Under 10. Under 10. Check.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And it's third down.
And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field.
Easy.
Cousins now from the 50. That'll be complete to Cook. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
A lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the Saints 31.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Put them on the buses.
Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
Gun.
Kill. 56 to Mike.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmaker.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First down, here's the run with Cook. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Pryor has it complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Patterson. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards, good for his Saints. 1st down. This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 25 yards that time. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Patterson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Patterson. Complete. Smith has it.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was trying to get it to Kadero Hodge, and it's second down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
I can't believe they let you play.
Throwing again. Patterson drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. From the gun, Patterson, and he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Back to throw. Patterson, he's got it. So they convert the 2 that keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
Check 37. Check 37.
Now a run with Cook. Cook stripped. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A good pickup there, 26 yards. On 1st and 10, Patterson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game, and they know it helps their team.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Cook following the penalty. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a 1st down if not for that penalty moments ago.
But looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
They run it again with Cook. And some room to maneuver.
Let's go, fellas.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Vikings, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa